I can't read.
Welcome to You're On in 5, The Art of Understudying.
The only podcast to celebrate the work of actors in understudy roles.
Understudying demands tons of preparation with minimal rehearsal.
Or sometimes none at all.
But it can end in triumphant glory.
In these conversations, we'll amplify the diverse voices of actors who have understudied. We want to hear about the artist's technique, experience, and journey.
As well as whatever's on our mind that day. Welcome to You're On in 5. I'm Scott Sava. You might know me from directing kids shows at the Theater of Western Springs.
Oh, and I'm Elana Elise. You might know me from my nearly dead advice column, which is Ask Auntie Line. You can find me on IG. I be saying stuff sometimes. And today we have the amazing Jazzma Pryor with us. And you might know her from A Tale of Two Cities with Shattered Globe Theater at Theater Wit. Welcome, Jazzma.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hello, hello.
Nice, so nice. Well, we gonna jump right in, and that's because our first question is always the same, and that is, what was your first understudy gig?
My first understudy gig, it was with Stage Left Theater at the Athenaeum. Insurrection Holding History.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you see it?
I did.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But
That
yes,
was a long time ago.
Insurrection Holding History with Stage Left Theater.
Nice. Well, tell us about that. So that was your first understudy gig. Did you know anything about understudying, what it meant, what was expected of you, and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had understudies in undergrad. I hadn't done a lot of professional theater yet in Chicago, but I knew about understudies. I knew the hard work it took. I call them wonder studies because it's wonderful what they do. It's a skill that not everybody has, you know, and they save the show for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I knew what an understudy was. I think this was very nerve-wracking for me because Insurrection Holding History happens in the present and in the past. And so I understudied for two people, but because it was present and past, I was playing 5 different characters.
Yes, that's always one of my questions. That was a big intro to the thing. Like you had to do a lot. And I feel like there was like, I don't know, I could be misremembering. But was there like physical? Like I feel like there was a lot of physical stuff.
It was physical.
Yeah.
It was movement. There was dance.
Yeah.
You would face left and be in present, and then you would just turn right and you would be in the past. So there was no like going off stage and changing. It happened right there.
And you had to learn that for 5, like all of that for 5.
5 different characters.
How did you
So I only
approach
understudied for 2 people.
Right,
2
but
people made it for 5 characters. Yes.
Right. Did you? How did you approach it?
I went to most of the rehearsals. Sat in the corner, took my notes, was in the corner with the dance routines. I tried not to get in their way, but I was in the corner doing it along with them, you know. Listening very intensely when they had their conversations, was there throughout tech. I just wanted to get it right. And it was a very important show with a good message, very intense show. And I was understudying 2 powerful, dynamic actresses in Chicago. So I wanted to do their work justice if I went on for them.
And did you ever have to go on?
I did.
Yeah. Did you have to go out for both actors?
I did.
Oh, really?
Tell us about it. How was it? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so glad you got to go on, first of all. But like, yes, do tell.
I knew I was going to go on. So the two people that I actually understudied for was Shariba and Sydney Charles.
Right.
And I knew that I was going to go on for Shariba. I knew that. Mm-hmm. So when that was coming up, I got into my book heavy, studying what she was doing, and I went on, I think Thursday. No. It was Friday, Saturday. I knew I was going on twice for her. Mm-hmm. And we had like a put in and everything. So on Sunday, I get a call from the stage manager, said, "Hey, Jazzma, we need you to come in again." I was like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "Yeah, but it is for Sydney's role." And I said, "Oh my God."
Wow. Love it.
Yeah. And this was like 2 hours before the show. Ooh. And I had a put in. I hadn't had a costume fitting. But me, yeah, exactly. So they're like, "Can you do it?" And they saw me. I was there. Mm-hmm. I knew my lines, but again, I knew I was going on for this one character. Right. So I hadn't really looked at those other lines that week,
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, I'm coming." And I got to the theater. And I was panicking a little bit. I was panicking a lot. I'm not going to lie. I was panicking a lot.
Yes.
But everyone was so great. I was in there, and Uriel was our costume designer. And Uriel rushed in with costumes and just threw them down. And I'm trying on costumes. And everybody's running lines with me and telling me, "Jazzma, you got this. And I'm crying. I'm so nervous because I don't want to mess up the show. Yeah. I don't want to mess it up, So they were in the dressing room and they were running lines with me, and I'm putting on costumes and all of this other stuff. And we ran through the entire show with the words backstage. And they were like, "Jazzma, you got this. And if you mess up, we're gonna pull you along. We're gonna hand you stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was so great. And so I remember on my first entrance, I had what is the little umbrellas called?
Parasol?
The parasol.
A parasol, yeah. That character comes on stage with a parasol. So I'm right there, and I'm like, "Oh, no, my parasol." So I booked it back to the dressing room, grabbed the parasol, ran back, and literally with seconds left, my entrance. Yes. And I came on and did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And everybody in the cast was so wonderful. Breon was the lead in that one. Fabulous. That was my first time working with Nathaniel. Like it was great. It was nerve-wracking. But after that experience, I'm like, "Listen, bring it on."
Yeah.
She could do it. She could do it. It was very nerve-wracking at the beginning, but I felt pretty powerful at the end that I pulled it through. And I didn't mess up the show.
You didn't mess up the show. You was never gonna mess up the show. I'll tell you that. Oh, that is so lovely. What a great first experience. And with those people too, like everyone you've named. I don't know Uriel, but everyone else you named, like just.
Oh, and Ayana was in it. Just powerful Chicago actors.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a great cast. Sam was in it. It was so long ago. I apologize if I can't remember that, but it's fine. But it was a great cast. Everybody in the cast was wonderful.
Yes. So you hadn't had any separate understudy rehearsals. You were just going to theirs or to the main ones. Did they ever have understudy rehearsals?
I don't want to lie and say no, I just don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know that I didn't have one for the second character, so I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long
It's been
ago
a
was
minute.
that? Yeah.
Years.
Years. Because that would have
Yeah.
been, would that been before we worked together, right? And it's been
so.
at least 6 years since that. Maybe 7. I don't know how time works, but
Yeah. It was a minute ago.
Yeah.
Were there any like close calls or anything like that was memorable from either of the understudy runs?
Aside from the parasol forget.
Yeah.
Seeing the audience during this one part of the show, I don't want to spoilers about the show, but there's this one part in the show where one of the characters, this sounds horrible, but you have to see the show to understand, has a baby and like snaps the neck of the baby. And it's really visceral, even in rehearsals, watching it, just the feeling of like that happening. And I think seeing the audience's face when it happens was like, yeah. So that I hadn't experienced that until I went on. You know, I knew how I felt from the audience, but to see their reaction in that moment, yeah. And I think that was one of the bigger shows I had been a part of at that time. So that was just exciting to really be on a stage with lights and people who are like moving and grooving, you know? It was really cool. Yeah.
Love that. Wow. What at your next gig or whichever next time you understudied comes to mind, like what else has your experience as an understudy?
So I am a ensemble member with Shattered Globe Theater, and we did a show called Rashida Speaking a couple few years ago, and I understudied that show. I didn't go on. We did have an understudy run. And then there's one line in the show that I will never forget. So the show talks about microaggressions, racial microaggressions in the workplace. And there's this one line in the show where my character says, pecan pie. And then the man says, you mean pecan pie? Like pecan. So I'm supposed to say pecan, and he corrects me with pecan. And when I did it, I was like, pecan. He was like, oh. Yes, pecan pie. And I looked at him like, I am so sorry. My bad. So that is the one thing in our understudy run that I remember that I was like, come on, Jazzma, that one line, you know, in that show. And that was really great too, because I feel like I wasn't, unfortunately, as prepared in that one. I had a lot of stuff going on. I worked through it, but I remember I jumped a couple lines. But again, you're working with professionals. You know, hey, we're going to push through. We're going to rock it, you know? So it wasn't a bad experience either. Yeah, it was pretty great. But that line thing, I still think about it today. But Adam Schumerick, he's an ensemble member. He was great. He like gave me the eye, like, and afterwards he was like, it was so fine. It was great. I like totally stole that moment. That was my bad.
It reminds me of, I was working with Mackenzie Chin, and she went up, and my face is very expressive, as you both know, but I was trying to like figure out how to like, you know, make sure we were okay, but she's very close to my face when she went up, right? So my face is doing like the processing, but she thinks I'm like, how dare you, or whatever. Like, she thinks I'm like judging her, and I know that. I mean, hopefully she's forgotten about this, but I know she never believed me that I wasn't like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I really was like, and my back is to the audience, so I could afford to like think like, how are we gonna continue, how are we gonna get out, or whatever, or what do I need to say? Like, that's what was happening. Whatever my face looked like, she insists that I was just like pissed that she made a mistake. So I'm like, that's not fair. I really wasn't. I was trying to but, man,
you read my face wrong.
Right. But it's that kind of stuff that makes me love live theater so much. Like, I love that, just that anything can happen at any time. And what are you going to do, you know?
Absolutely. Speaking on that, that makes me think of when I was in undergrad and we did Two Gentlemen of Verona, the musical. And we had a platform, a 2-level platform. And I don't remember if it turned off or somebody forgot to turn it on, but the microphone at the top wasn't on. So you couldn't hear, wasn't coming to the audience. And one of the actors, and I can't remember what character he played, but he played him like really goofy and silly, lackadaisical. And he was like, oh, I can get on stage and turn the microphone on. Like, not in this scene at all, but it made sense for his character. And he came out on stage and he was like doing his own thing. He like walked up and like laid down, reached, turned the microphone off, and like floated back off stage. And we were dying. But it worked so well.
That's awesome.
Oh,
it worked so well. I will never forget that. I was like, he did it. It didn't feel out of place.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Live theater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. So then, okay, how many times have you understudied?
Twice.
Okay.
Twice. Well,
Those
that's
are my
it,
two
everybody.
experiences.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me. Everybody have a good night.
Here's a question we've asked, like a version of, but so you being primarily a principal actor or a overstudy, if you will, how do you perceive yourself in partnership with your understudies, right? Like when you have understudies, like if you had to describe yourself in terms of how you work with, how you talk with, relate, communicate, help, whatever, like what would you say? How do you?
I always tell my understudies, let me know what I can do to help you. If you want to run lines, if you want me to help you figure out like entrances and exits. In A Tale of Two Cities, Madame Defarge knits, and they made like a little makeshift kind of thing. And RJ was my understudy, and I was like, hey, you want me to show you? Let's sit down. Because at first I thought I was going to actually knit, so I taught myself to knit.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I was showing her, I was telling her I can show you. I sent her the videos that I use to help me learn to knit, but I could not knit fast enough to make it grow for the show. So they made a couple, so they made it a couple pieces as it grows for the show.
Yeah.
But it's cool now. I know how to knit. So,
Yes.
So like that. So like any tools that I had to help myself, I shared it with her. Just being available, If
do you find they usually take you up on, like,
it varies.
Yeah,
it varies according to the actor. Yeah. Sometimes they have questions for you. Sometimes they're at the table and just want to be a part of that process so they can understand it better. Our costume pieces are usually different, so it's not something that, in my experience, that we've had to, because we have quick changes. So I never had to like give advice on like what was the best way to do what, because we had different costume pieces. But I think helping with lines, or I think just generally being kind goes far.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that helps the room in general. So I try to be kind and greet and ask how they're doing and let them know, like, hey, if you got any questions, let me know. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, and making them know that they're a part of the room. I know some situations it's like you sit in the corner and be quiet, but for me, like you are a saving grace if something comes up for me. So I extra nice to my understudy, you know.
Yes.
To the wonder studies.
The
It's not
wonder
an easy
studies.
job. It's not an easy job. And you get not as many accolades, you know.
Sometimes you don't get to show your work.
You don't get to show all the work that you put. You don't get production photos.
Right.
You know, you don't get a program with your name at the front. Sometimes they're doing better about that, a lot better about that now, but yeah, it's just not the same, but with a lot of work and to me, a lot more stress. Because you don't get at the beginning as much time on the set, as much time with the director, you know, as much time with the main cast, because you jump in there with these people you don't get to play with as much. Right. When you have your understudy rehearsal, you're rehearsing with the other understudies. Yeah. So it's a skill. It's a lot. Yeah. So I try to be very respectful and appreciative to my understudies.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
In terms of like your preparation, do you approach a character differently than you do when you are understudying?
I think so, because when I am the main character cast initially, it's what me and the director come up with for that character. And then as the understudy, once the director and the actor has kind of the idea of the direction of this character, even if I feel differently about it, it's my job to tell that story. You know? So there might be some slight choices that I've made differently, but in general, I try to give the audience the show that was created, you know? So I think it's just a different approach.
Yeah.
It's like, as the main actor, I'm acting. But as the wonder study, I'm acting on that person's acting. Yeah, it's like extra level.
Yeah, right.
You know? Yeah, so I'm still bringing Jazzma, but I'm trying to bring that essence of whoever I'm understudying.
Right.
Yeah.
And that helps the rest of the cast feel like they're doing the same show.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you did the first one, and then the next time you understudied was at Shattered Globe? Okay. And that's your home, or at least one of your theater homes. So when you audition, do you check the box always that, yes, you're willing to audition? I mean, to understudy?
No.
No, you never check it?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely. Very rarely.
I can dig it. I don't know. Well, I haven't had to fill out that form in many, many years. But I feel like when I was still filling it out, I was definitely reaching a point where I was not saying yes. But it just depends on the show, right? Like,
yeah, it depends on the show. It depends. You know, when they ask sometimes when it's the casting comes out and all of these characters have already been cast and are just casting for understudies, I'm not going to audition for that show. If I audition for a role, and depending on the role, depending on the theater, depending on the director, maybe I want to work with that director. So it's like layers of where I might consider understudying. Yeah. But I personally don't think that I give my best work as an understudy. So if it's somebody that I've never worked with before, I don't want that to be my work product that they're initially introduced to.
Mm.
Because like I said, I think understudying is a skill.
Yeah.
And it's very stressful for me to be popped into that. And so I just don't think I give my best work as an understudy. And I think that's also why I treat my understudies so well.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you doing a job that I'm like, I usually can't feel like I can't do very well, you know?
Yeah.
So I usually don't check that box. And it's not because I think I'm above. I think it's a skill I don't have really.
Yeah.
I'm not a good understudy. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure you're great. And I want to just say I'm grateful. Like, I have gratitude for you voicing that, right? Like, that's not something we've ever heard before. And, you know, and I don't, because of course, you know, we come up and you're a little bit younger than I, but you know, we come up like you got take the work, you know, build your resume, whatever, pay your dues, etc. And so, you know, and then too, there's just the nature of like a job is a job, right? So most people tend to lean towards like, if that opportunity comes, then I'm going to do it. And even like, I don't know that I've ever heard anybody even examine whether they were good at it, right? Like, or could, you know, like, or, you know, and they may not be good at it, but you know, it's not something, you know, like I've never even thought about it one way or the other. I just know that, you know, I will choose it or not choose it depending on a lot of factors. So it's one of the things I love about these conversations, right? It's like that's so valuable just for somebody to hear, because, you know, it's not like you're an actor and you're supposed to know how to do all the things that come with acting and whatever. And I know how good you are. So even
Thank you.
I know I know the levels of like, of what you want, how you see yourself and what you want, right? So like to be able to for you to say like, I don't do my best work. I know still that output is excellent, right? And it's not your, you know, it's just an internal thing, right? So like, I know there's no circumstance in which you hit the stage as an understudy and people are like, what is she doing? You know, so like even given that truth, you know, I'll call it a fact if I want to, but it's just still good to have a person who has your talent and your self-awareness to say like, I just, you know, I don't think I do my best. I think that's good for people to hear.
I feel anxious on stage. I can't live in the character. I think I'm more worried about messing up, for me, these people's show that I've jumped into it, than living in the character. You know, I'm more in my head about Jazzma get this right instead of Jazzma isn't here. This character is here. You know, this person who I'm living as is here. So I don't feel like it's my best work product. And if it's a theater that I want to work with, I'm not going to understudy for y'all. And I've come to the conclusion that there may be some theaters I may never work at if I have to start off as an understudy, because I'm not going to do it, because I don't want to leave that memory in your head. And you're so sweet to say like, I know it's still going to be great, but if I don't feel good about it, you know,
exactly,
So I've come to that. There are some big Chicago theaters that if I have to understudy first to get in there, I'm unfortunately not going to work there, because I can't allow myself not to put something good out. I can't.
That is fair.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question that usually asks the other way around, but based on what you said, is there any show that you would want to be involved with because of the script, because of the roles, because of the character, that it would be hard for you to not understudy, because that's still a way to be like involved, and maybe the cast, whether you know the director or not, you can add it to the scenario if you want to, but like there's so many things about, but starting with that story, the script, right? And then there's like, you know, like
a specific show.
Yeah.
I think the first one, depending on who did it and who the director is, will probably be Clyde's.
Yes,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be tough for me. I would, because the last time I understudied, I think it was just something I loved the script. I just wanted to be involved. And it just so happened that I had a lot of friends involved, so that was easier. But I think Clyde would put me in that dilemma too.
Yeah,
right?
that would be one. I'm like, ooh.
Do you know Clyde Scott?
I don't.
Oh, hey, Scott's still here, everybody. No.
We looking right at him.
We are. I've seen it twice, 2 different productions of it. It's so great. I took somebody who had never been to any theater to see Clyde. And they didn't expect themselves to enjoy an experience at the theater, but like they were all in. Like that's a really great show. But yeah, so that's cool. I'm glad I asked that.
Yeah, that one. I still have and again I have to preempt this depending on who and the director, but I still want to be in a Raisin in the Sun. For years I wanted to be Beneatha because me and her are kindred spirits, but I kind of age out of Beneatha right now. But I think that's on my list of being on in a Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
So I think if I had an opportunity to be in that show, because I've wanted to be in that show for years.
Yeah.
I think that one would be hard to say no to. I still might. Because I wanted to be good.
And you want to be in it, like that would be the best.
Because it's on my list to do. Maybe, you know what? Clyde's, yes, but it's I was about to say a Tennessee a Raisin in the Sun would probably not, because I wanted to do it for so long. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see like not wanting to, but yeah, that's so iconic though too.
Yeah.
In a different way than Clyde's is, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think those are the first 2 that come to mind.
Yeah. Are you a full-time actor?
I am now. I quit the day job in July.
It just died this year.
This past July.
Well, what was your day job?
I worked at Northwestern Pritzker School of Law as the judicial clerkships coordinator for almost 9 years.
Holy wow. And so how's it been these months?
It's on the hustle, girl. So it's so funny. One of my besties, my bestie Brennan, he's like, are you free here? Are you free? And I was like, I'm not available. How are you busier and you ain't got a job? And I was like, it's the hustle. I'm working. I just don't have one daytime job.
Right.
I'm here and I'm going over here and I'm having a meeting with someone over here and I'm doing this over here. So it's like all over the place instead of like Jazzma's at work from 9 to 5:30.
Yeah.
So that was just so funny. He said, how are you busier now? You ain't got no job.
That's what happened. A job ain't tie you down. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you. It's been great. I dusted off my stage management skills after 15 years.
Really?
I did. I just stage managed the Baldwin Giovanni experience at Fleetwood Jourdain Theater in Evanston. Yeah. So that show was cue heavy, lots of lights and sound, and it was a show to get back in there on, let me tell you. Beautiful show.
Yes.
And it's a show that you had to have a feel with, so kind of around when they get around here and go, and around this moment and go.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a show to jump back in there on. And I tell people, I was like, I didn't know that you stage manage. When I first moved to Chicago, those are my first 2 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
I stage managed at Wilbur Wright College, a steampunk version of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stage managed a show called Here Where It's Safe with Stage Left Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are my 2 first professional jobs when I first moved to Chicago in 05. 09, excuse me, 09.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I stage managed. And then I tried to get out there in the acting.
Yes.
And then quickly stepped away from acting because I had bills to pay.
I know that's right.
Right.
Which sucks. That sucks. Do you ever perform as a singer? Like only as a singer? No. Okay. I don't know why that is true.
Yeah, no. I'm an actor who can hold a note or 2 or 3 on a good night.
Like 5. She can hold like 5 notes.
5 after a drink or 2. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Well, that's interesting.
No, I've never just sang. I've done roles with singing.
With singing. You never done a musical?
I did 2 Gentlemen in Verona.
Oh, right. You said that.
In undergrad, but that was in undergrad.
Oh, okay.
But can I tell you something I remember that show? Because I played Sylvia in that show. And I had so many young Black women, plus size Black women, young students come up to me and just say how nice it was to see themselves on stage as the love interest.
Yeah.
I remember that to this day. Like, they were just like, it was nice to see somebody up there that looks like me and the guys want her.
Yes.
You know? And that was I still think about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's lovely. I'm so glad for that.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for a break. We'll be back with more Jazzma Pryor after this. And we're back with Jazzma Pryor. And now let's go off book.
And find out who even are you?
With the Understudy podcast,
Quirky Questionnaire. Jazzma.
Yes.
Do you know what your first words were?
I do not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Dada. Daddy.
Okay, that's fair.
What is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is of my oldest brother, Tim, who is gone to heaven now, but him saying something to me and I completely understand what he's saying, but I don't have the words to respond back.
Oh.
Yeah, I understood what he was saying to me, but I didn't know how to respond. So I had to be very young because my mom said I came out the womb talking.
I love it. This one requires major honesty. Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Okay, good then. That's the question.
No, that's the question.
Was it?
They saw how scrunched up my face was just now.
Like, what's the secret?
I was like, totally.
This one also requires complete honesty. What is the best way to get rid of hiccups?
I try to hold my breath.
And does it work?
Sometimes not. I remember my aunt used to break off a piece of a brown paper bag, wet it with her saliva, and put it in the middle of her son's forehead when he was a baby and had hiccups.
Did it work?
I don't remember, but I remember watching that. My Aunt Tracy did that, and I was like, that is interesting.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I remember that. He Troy, my little cousin Troy, and she broke off a piece of brown. He was hiccuping really bad, and she wetted with her saliva, put it in the middle of his forehead. And I don't remember if it worked, but that's why she did it, because he was hiccuping.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Try it.
Mm.
have the brown paper bag on the ready.
All
of us have those, right?
I'm gonna put one in the refrigerator just so like it's preserved, ready to go at any time, dust free. What is your favorite vegetable?
Broccoli. Cooked, steamed broccoli. I don't like raw broccoli. It has to be. I don't like soggy broccoli either.
Sure,
but it has to be a crisp. But broccoli.
All right. So don't put it on the charcuterie board.
No. It's gonna sit there.
Sometimes it's blanched when it's on the charcuterie board.
It can be.
If it's blanched, I can do it. But just raw, rinse, and no.
Okay.
Can't do it.
Do you like board games, video games, or no games?
Well, if people playing games with my emotions, the answer is no. But board games, yes. Video games, I like games on my phone. Mm-hmm. I never got into it when I was a kid because my thumbs would get tired.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Game on my phone.
Either one.
I love a good Wordle.
Mm-hmm.
I love anything that makes me think. I play, this game doesn't make you think. It's called Merge. Something Merge. You merge things together to make them bigger. Like one of those things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But puzzle games, Wordle. There's this new game, New York Times, called Pips. It's dominoes that you have to match up with the numbers. Love that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Actually pretty good at it. I hate crosswords, though.
Oh.
Same. I hate crosswords. I cannot deal with. They stress me out. They make me angry. I can't. I love a word find.
Yes.
I'll do them.
I will do I'll do some Sudoku. Love Sudoku.
Okay.
But crosswords, can't do it. Mm-mm.
What is your proudest moment?
Ooh. I think my I've had several. Can I tell two?
Yes.
Okay. I think the first one was my move to Chicago. I graduated from Clemson University. I stayed there for a month. I came to Chicago with some friends for a week, check it out. Went to a couple of job interviews I found on Craigslist or something. Said that I could live in Chicago. Went back to South Carolina, had friends help me pack up a U-Haul truck, and I was living here the next week. So I visited Chicago 1 week, and I was living here the next. And I've been here 16 years now or something like that. So that was my proudest moment, making that leap. That was my big move. The first 6 months were really hard. But I figured it out. And it's just been getting better and better. So I think that's a proud moment. I did that all on my own. Yeah. So that's my first one. My second one, because clearly I'm a jumper. That's what I call myself. Is I make a decision and I do it. Make a decision and I do it. I was working for Chicago Athletic Clubs, surrounded by marathoners and Iron men and women. And I was like, I want to do a challenge. And somebody told me, you sign up for a race, you have one too many glasses of wine, and you sign up for a race, and you spent your money on it, so you're going to prepare. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I signed up for the Chicago Triathlon. Now, I signed up for this triathlon. I did not know how to swim. I did not own a bicycle. I hated to run. Still hate running. But I spent my money on it, and sis don't like to waste money, okay? So I signed up for it the next morning. I was like, ooh, girl, you need to learn to swim. And so I started taking swim lessons in the pool. And then I started practicing in open water. And I did a duathlon, which is the swim and run. And I got a hybrid bike, not even a race bike, just a bike. I needed a bike.
Yeah.
And I'm a triathlete now.
Look at you.
Awesome.
I did it. And I did my swim in 4 minutes faster than I ever did. But it's the adrenaline.
Yeah. For sure.
I got out the water and I looked at my watch and I said, "Oh my God." Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So that was that was a big feat for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Going from not even knowing how to swim to being a triathlete.
That's such a great story. I love that. I love that you did that.
Thank you.
Who is your favorite dead celebrity? Natural transition there.
Yeah. My favorite dead celebrity. That is an interesting question. Cicely Tyson.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the artist formerly known as Prince.
Okay.
I wish I had seen Prince perform before he passed. He had such a giving heart. Once he passed away, you just heard so many things that he did for the community.
Yeah.
Just so many things he did for people. And I think when I think of celebrities, once I find out who they are as in real life as a person, it makes me like them even more.
For sure.
So I would say him because I loved his music and I love what he did for other people. And then Cicely Tyson is Cicely Tyson. Iconic,
right.
Darling, come on.
Yes.
So I would have loved to have met her. Yeah.
All right. So look, are you fluent in any other languages?
No.
Okay. That's fine.
I do a little bit of Spanish. I'm not going to right now. I wish I had really stuck to, only did 1 year of ASL, of American Sign Language. And my professor said that I took to, because I'm a visual learner. And so I was taken to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was really disappointed that I wouldn't be able to continue on with it. And it was really cool we would meet up with the deaf community and they would give you your name, your sign name. And I love it because it's so expressive. They use their faces, so many expressions and so much feeling. And, so I really enjoyed the 1 year I had of it. Yeah.
Man, I was on track to, I had goals of becoming an interpreter.
Really?
Yeah. I've studied here. I learned it a long time ago, but then I studied here in Chicago. And I got that name.
Wow.
Because one of my instructors said I was sassy. So that was him putting his hand on this.
Oh, show me your name. Show it to me again.
I gotta stand up again.
Oh,
so it's the E, but then it's at the hip.
Oh,
okay. I don't know how he could call me sassy when I'm signing.
I mean, that right there was sassy.
Yeah, that was sassy.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was exaggerating. I don't know why he would do that. Okay, last question.
We kind of hit this already, but maybe you have another answer for it.
Did.
What is your dream role?
I think it hasn't been written yet, but I remember when Abrams from Georgia,
JJ,
Stacey.
Oh,
Stacey Abrams. How did I forget that? My sister's name is Stacey. Everything that she did in Georgia for the election, and I wrote on socials, and I was like, whenever they make the movie about her, I'm gonna bulldoze over whoever I gotta get to be able to play that role.
Oh yes.
So I think that is the one that I still want to do. I really want to play Stacey Abrams in whatever movie will be made about her in the future.
Oh, I love that.
Put that out in the atmosphere.
You did it.
Yeah.
That was our quirky questionnaire.
Hey.
And now it's time for props.
And in props, we like to give shouts out to actors and stage managers and assistant directors, anybody who helps us in our understudy work or maybe has worked as an understudy when you were an overstudy, and deserves props. Do you got anybody?
Yes, plenty of people. I suck with names though.
Uh-oh.
Katrina was our costume designer for A Tale of Two Cities, who also won the Jeff for it.
Yay!
Amazing person, a wonderful costumer. Loved working with her. Look forward to working with her in the future. Tina, she's a SM for Shattered Globe Theater. Worked with her multiple times. Big ups to Tina. She's great at what she does. She's a wonderful person. Great stage manager, big heart. I have to shout out Tim Rose at Fleetwood. I've done so many shows with him. He's given me so many opportunities. He's been my biggest theater mentor in Chicago. Yeah, I've grown so much as an actor on the Fleetwood stage. So I have to mention him. I thoroughly enjoyed working with Michael Burke on A Tale of Two Cities. That was awesome to be a part of his world and the process and the kind of room he builds. That was amazing. Chris, sound designer, wonderful artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful artist. Shelly works with Shattered Globe, wonderful lighting designer. Oh, ASM. We had Mary and Emily. Oh my God, amazing ASMs. We could not have done A Tale of Two Cities without those two young ladies. They rocked it back there. Quick changes, props, everything. Like, they were magnificent. I would be remiss if I did not mention them. Those are the people that make the work beautiful. Like, we couldn't do it without them. Mm-hmm. When I was an undergrad, one of my favorite things was being our work crew. And it gave me a deeper appreciation and love for theater. Being in the background and doing lights and helping with costumes and doing spotlight and all of that other stuff. To see how much work goes on before us as the actors even get to the stage, I think was very foundational in who I am as a performer, who I bring to the room, who I bring to the theater, the kind of person I try to be to everyone that's there, because it's a team effort. So props to all the designers and creators and everything. We do the work together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You didn't have any props, Scott? You usually have something.
I usually do, I guess. I just got done directing this kids show. It was 3rd through 6th grade out in the West, in Western Springs. And the parents came together really well to do the props and the costumes. And I was just really impressed and grateful for that. Like, I put together the spreadsheet with everything, and they just went for it. And I was like, awesome. And then these kids were awesome. And most of them, it was like their first play ever. Or maybe they had done like a musical before, but like this was like a script. Like, it was like no music. And they actually had lines, not just like little like solos. And one major thing that came up like a few days before we opened was like, what do we do if we forget a line? And like, you know, we spent like half an hour talking about it, and it's just like we shouldn't spend that much time because it's probably gonna get more in their heads about it.
Right.
But you know, I just told them, you know, go with it, try to help out your scene partner, that kind of stuff. And then during one of the shows, a baby was in the audience because it was, you know, a kid's show. And the baby like threw a ball or something like on stage. Uh, and I was just like, and I was in the front row, so I was thinking about just walking up and grabbing it. But my actors, like, again, first time on stage, they like just kept on going with the scene, and like at one point they picked up the ball, and when there was an entrance of another character, the kid who picked up the ball, he went and brought it back to the kid, and I was just like, man, you guys handled that so well.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And
Aw.
yeah, and it's like I think when you're that young and like all you've ever seen is like movies and TV, you think that nobody ever makes a mistake. And it's just like, no, we make mistakes all the time on stage.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, and like sometimes it's even better when you get that, because it unlocks a different kind of reality, you know? So that was really exciting to watch happen in real time.
Thank you for sharing that. That was,
Yes.
I never thought about that, because you're right. They see the perfect shot in the media that they
Engaging,
yeah.
Yeah, that it always freaked me out when I was their age too. That, you know, this idea that it's perfection, and it's just like, no, it's not perfection. Perfection is boring anyway.
I never even thought about it at all. Like that never even crossed my mind. Like, and I don't know, maybe because I started doing theater as early as I did, but like it never seemed the same. Like what I saw like on my TV screen or at the movies, like I never thought theater was the same as that. You know, so I never thought about that.
Yeah. I also have a perfectionist problem, so, you know, there's that.
Do you?
I did.
Like
I did. I'm okay with it now. Fuck that shit. No,
Listen,
That's a cool question, though. Like, what was the first show you ever did, and the first show you ever saw? Do y'all remember those for yourselves?
I know the first show I ever did. I don't remember the name of it, but I was one of those kids who did everything, and everybody's heard this story a million times. So I was 7. I was cast as an understudy in the school play, and I went to all the rehearsals every day because this was the thing I was doing right now. And then the girl was absent one day, and the director, I worked through the rehearsal, and then after that, she put me in the show with the girl. So we were playing the same role, but we played it as twins. And so that was the first show I did. And the first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we moved together, we spoke together, like in unison and all of that, right? Which was better than if she had decided the girl couldn't have the role anymore. Just because I just have been at every rehearsal, so I could help rehearsal continue, and that was all. And then the next day, and I remember asking her, because my mom has recently started like being there as like the Girl Scout leader or whatever, and she knew the woman directing the play. I remember asking her, I was 7. But asking her if she put me in the play because she was friends with my mom, because I didn't want it if she did. And she said no, and so I believed her, and then I proceeded to do that play, and it was great. It was great.
Wow.
And the first
maybe you were so good, she didn't want to hurt the other little girl's feelings because you upstaged her.
I don't know about that.
How do we solve this? Twins.
I don't know. The first play I saw on stage was Peter Pan, a live version of Peter Pan. It was really great. I don't remember how old I was, but it was after 7, but I don't think, I was between like 7 and 10 when I saw that on stage.
Nice. What about you, Scott?
I'm sure. I think it was something like Stone Soup or Three Piggy Opera, like these little kids shows. Although there was a time I did Pinocchio, and I was Pinocchio, and I didn't know any of my lines. I don't know what happened. I don't recall it. It happened, but yeah. And then the same thing happened again when I played Joseph in the like nativity play. And I think they just fed me my lines from off stage. and it's completely blacked out my memory. I told all my students about this
Trauma.
too.
Your brain said, "Get rid of it."
Exactly, exactly.
For real.
Yeah,
For
but
real.
I told my students about it because I was like, yeah, that happened, and you just get yourself back up and keep on going. I think there was maybe a few years there where I didn't do any shows, and then, I mean, I've done a one-man show. Alana directed, so like, and I did a different one-man
You got
show.
nominated for a Jeff for that one-man show.
What was the show?
Oh, it was called Here Lies Henry.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one. But like, I was able to tell my students that like I had that experience when I was their age, and I'm still acting because I love it, and I'm able to memorize whatever I need to now. So that felt good to just kind of bring that full circle.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we like to wrap up with a question of, what is something that you would tell your younger self when you were starting out, based on the lessons you've learned in time that you wish you knew back then?
I think I would tell myself to believe in my talent and not worry about other people's perception of me. In other words, not put so much stock into other people telling me what I can and cannot do because they're trying to put me in a box, and know that I can do it because I don't belong in your box.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't belong in your box. That's your box. You keep it to yourself. And stop worrying about that and just do what I love to do. I think a lot of people, a lot of young folk, and I tell them now because I facilitate the Protege program with Shatter Globe Theater. It's a emerging artist program, helping them go into the professional industry more confident in their authentic voices. And they're still at the age where they care so much about what other people think about them. And I remember being that way. And I think it comes with age, where I don't care really what you think about me. I put in the effort and I put in the work, and I know what I'm capable of. I can't control your perception of me, but I know what I can put out into the world. I know the work product I can put on stage. And so I have to hold myself accountable to that and not what other people hold me in. So I that's what I would say. Believe in yourself more, and you know that you're talented. You know that you put in the work, studying your lines, researching other things, and you're doing your part. You can't put other stock in what other people see, because you can do a good job and some people still gonna shit on it.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't know if you can put that.
We can do what we want.
All right, hey, that's true. And it doesn't mean that it wasn't good work. It could just not be their taste. Well, it could be that they just hating because they not where you are. So just believe in yourself. I had to get to a place where I just believed in myself. And continue to, and that's what I tell my proteges. You're an artist. You're a creative. It doesn't matter if you put it away for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. You're still an artist and a creative. It doesn't mean just because you're not doing it right now, doesn't mean it goes away. It doesn't mean that you're not as good of an artist because you're not in something constantly. Create your own lane. Write the story you want to tell. Build your own table. You don't always have to beg at a place of other people's table. Look at y'all. Y'all got your own podcast, you know? So I try to encourage them in just being, and that's what a program, being confident in your authentic voice. Tell your own stories. Yeah, I'm rambling now. But yeah,
that's awesome.
That is wonderful advice for the young folk and some.
For the young folk, believe in yourself.
Yeah,
even when nobody else does, believe in yourself.
That's great. Jazzma, thank you so much.
Yes,
for
thank you.
Us.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was fun.
Right.
I'm glad you thought so. We hope you enjoyed our conversation today with Jazzma Pryor and that it gives deeper insight into the art of understudying.
To send us a question or give a suggestion of someone we should interview, email us at understudypodcast@gmail.com.
Or hit us up at UnderstudyPod on Facebook and Instagram.
We want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers, especially Marcella Huff and Stanley Soppel.
If you want to support the show, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/understudypod.
Our theme song and all other music are by Laura McKenzie.
Our episodes are edited by Scott and produced by Scott and me.
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked it, please hit subscribe on your podcast player of choice and tell your friends.
If you hated it, tell your enemies.
And their parents.
And their stupid parents.
Bye. Bye.